This presentation is on some of the less commonly used bent grasses found on golf courses. To start, there are over 100 species of bent grass. The ones that we will focus on are red top, colonial, and velvet bent grass. These three bent grasses, along with some creeping bent grass, comprised an early seed mix that was called South German bent that was used on golf course greens. This mix was quite popular through the early 20th century throughout Northern Europe and the United States. The seed mix South German bent no longer exists, but each species does. Red top is one of the most widely adapted turf grasses. Red top's one limitation is its susceptibility to winter injury. Its life cycle is variable, considered an annual to a perennial. Red top was often added to a seed mix, like that South German mix, as a nurse crop because of its believed rapid establishment, and due to a lack of tolerance to cold and low mowing heights, would gradually disappear, being replaced by the more desirable turf grasses in the mix. Later, red top was found not to establish any quicker than some of the other grasses, and was replaced by other species in the seed mixes, like perennial ryegrass. Red top does well in wet soils and may be found along drainage ditches or roadsides. Red top is either used in low maintenance situations or considered oftentimes a weed. The coarseness of the plant makes it unacceptable for current golf course situations. Although different species, colonial bentgrass and dryland bentgrass, I will group together as colonial bentgrass because dryland bentgrass is quite similar to colonial bentgrass. Colonial bentgrass, behind creeping bentgrass, is the second most used bentgrass on golf courses. Colonial bentgrass is also known by the common name of brown top, and in a few instances, common bent. There are several cultivars available for each of these bentgrasses. Most of the focus on breeding has been with colonial bentgrass compared to dryland bentgrass. Colonial bentgrass is adapted to the cool, humid regions of the world. Where we associate its use on golf courses is under links-type conditions. Colonial bentgrass does not hold up well under heat or drought conditions. It is also extremely susceptible to the summertime disease brown patch. Colonial bentgrass has an upright growth habit that is normally non-aggressive. Although given a rhizomatous growth habit, it will tend to get thatchy. In the past, colonial bentgrass was sometimes mixed with aggressive types of creeping bentgrasses like Pencross for fairway use in an attempt to reduce the overall aggressiveness of the mix. Usually the colonial bentgrass did not persist due to its adaptive limitations. Colonial bentgrass is maintained at a height of cut between 1/4 to slightly below an inch. The fertility requirements are normally considered low, but colonial bentgrass will respond to increasing nitrogen rates. This green is colonial bentgrass. In most cases, colonial bentgrass is seeded in a mix that is predominantly fine fescue. This type of seed mix is becoming quite popular on links types of golf courses built in New England and the Pacific Northwest. In the case where fine fescue colonial bentgrass mixes are used, management practices should follow those of fine fescue. The last bentgrass discussed is velvet bentgrass. Velvet bentgrass forms a turf that has the highest density and finest leaf texture as any of the bentgrasses. I think velvet bentgrass greens are as close to billiard table surfaces as you can get. Velvet is primarily used in New England area. It has relatively poor environmental stress tolerance, along with poor wear tolerance, which may be the result of some degree to its slow vertical growth rate. It also needs to be grown on well-drained, acidic soils. Velvet bentgrass is a relatively low-maintenance turf. In this photograph, the velvet bentgrasses are the dark green plots, while the lighter green plots are creeping bentgrass. These plots have been maintained under a low-maintenance program, and you can see that the velvet bentgrass has thrived compared to the creeping bentgrass. This concludes this presentation.